What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I want to talk about a heavy subject, and that is in the first 12 days of the brand new year, there's already been 2 homicides in the California Department of Corrections. Not only has there been 2 homicides, but who knows how many attempted homicides and assaults have occurred at the same time. The California Department of Corrections is a very, very dangerous place. I'm not going to say it's the most dangerous prison system. That's for other people to decide. But I know it's very dangerous. On the 11th, in Calipatria State Prison, down at the very bottom of this state, there's an incident where it's being alleged 2 inmates jumped on a third with weapons, and they ended his life around 9:36 in the morning. There's not a lot of details in that, but from the little that I did read, the victim had been transferred from Lancaster down to Calipatria. I've been out of prison for a long time, but unless things have changed, and let me know in the comments if you know, unless things have changed, to be moved from Lancaster to any prison when I was incarcerated, whoever came from Lancaster had a question mark until we ran their names and cleared them. And this is sounding like the same case. This guy, if he did come from Lancaster, which I've read he did, if he was transferred from Lancaster to Calipatria, there was probably a question mark on him. They immediately ran all his info, and something came out bad. Now, it could have been something else, but again, in my experience, especially now, like when the 2000s hit, anybody coming from Lancaster, go ahead and double check that person, right? And if that's the case, you know, I just, the California Department of Corrections has a plan. I keep talking about it and talking about it. Whenever I get a chance, I keep talking about it. They're pissed that they had to let everybody out of the shoe. And any chance they get, if they can find a pawn, if they can place a target where they know it's going to get hit, they're going to do that. In that case, the victim, I think he was doing he had like 60 years or something like that. I'm not sure. But the 2 people that have been picked up for this homicide, one of them had life without the possibility of parole. The other one had 12 years. Having 12 years and being on Calipatria State Prison Yard, this dude must have been engaging in some activities to have level 4 points. The guy with LWOP, if they go ahead and charge him, which they probably will, he'll just get another life sentence added on to the LWOP. The guy with 12 years, he's getting a life sentence. And I believe he's over 25 years old. I would have to check again. And if he is, then that life sentence, that's a real life sentence. You know, they changed the laws to where if you were under the age of 25 in California, you have to be evaluated as a juvenile, and you get certain leniencies, we can call them, right? If you were 25 or older, yeah, you don't get those. So this person knew what he was getting involved in. If he's really involved, right? The courts will figure that out. And I'm sure at this point, at this time, him and his crime partner on this case, they're fine with it. They knew what they signed up for, and it is what it is. Lives are not meaningful behind the walls. It's all about self-preservation. I've said it before in a bunch of videos. We had a saying in there: better him than me. This is one of those. The very next day, I believe it was in Soledad, and another inmate was killed. And the guy that has been charged with the homicide actually has horrible cases against children, minors. I don't know what happened there. But when I looked up the institution, when I looked up the articles, it said that the facility that they were on housed medical outpatients as well as people that were on medication because they weren't all there. I looked at the pictures of these two individuals. They don't look like they were in need of outpatient medical. Possibly they were what we refer to as JCATs, guys that weren't all there, guys taking medication. It's unfortunate that people go to prison and continue committing crimes, but that's the nature of the beast. These aren't going to be the only two homicides this year in California, the prison system. And like I said, we know about these two because the outcome was final. But I wouldn't be surprised if first 12 days into this year, there weren't at least minimum 50 other attacks that have occurred. Our system's big. It's a lot of politicking. There's a lot of people who have drug habits they can't maintain. There's a lot of people that are very angry, see no hope, and they look for a reason. Somebody will give it to them. If you pay attention, you're going to find what you're looking for. For those of you that have loved ones incarcerated, you guys got to figure out a way. I've mentioned it before and I'm going to mention it again. You love your loved one. You want to see your loved one. You want your loved one to survive prison. Calling your loved one's counselor isn't going to help that. Writing the warden isn't going to help that. Calling the prison isn't going to help that. Contacting your state senator, your local assembly person, like those are the people you reach out for. You reach out to. And you let them know, hey, I have a loved one who's incarcerated. And while they may have made bad decisions and have to do some time, they shouldn't be set up by the California Department of Corrections. And if you want my vote again, You're going to do everything you can to stop the setups, stop the gameplay, stop the violence that they're creating. Prison is always going to be violent because it's full of violent men. But I know firsthand, a lot of the men in there would prefer to have a smooth program, hustle, see their family when they can. But if something gets in their way, something shows up that's not supposed to be there, that's going to get handled. And the CDC knows that. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.